Have you seen the headlines? 71% of realtors in the country have not had one sale in 2025. I've seen this headline is popping up on social media and Facebook and TikTok, and I've seen it in some of the news articles. And I've had some agents reach out to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tony, have you seen this news? This same screenshot of the NAR statistic was the same one that was floating around last year at this time the beginning of 2025, about 2024. So just want to let you know, this is not a true statement. But I know many of you are watching this because you saw that 71%. So what I've been telling agents is that every year I do the numbers. I want to look, I want to see, and I actually go into our MLS, or we're in many MLSs, Northeast Ohio and Columbus, Cincinnati, Sandusky, Athens, many different MLSs. So for this video purposes, I'm going to pull up just MLS now, which is Northeast Ohio down into like 20 different counties or more. But we like to say it's Northeast Ohio, but it goes all the way down into Athens too. So in our MLS, or this MLS, we have over 13,000 active licenses in that MLS. And in the numbers, I did the exact numbers, and that's in this graph. And every year, 20 to, on a good market, to 30% of realtors never have a sale. That's normal. This is not new. I've been a broker for 28 years. I've been watching this for over 28 years, even when I was an agent. It's always the case. About 20 to 30% of agents never have a sale. Not always the same people. Some of them are brand new agents that just got their license. Some are retired but still keep their license active. But here's the numbers: 30% in 2000 and over the last 12 months. Now, why I say it's 30%, because two things. One, a lot of times agents go, well, some of those agents are on teams and they don't show the production. That's such a small amount of that. And also to balance that, there's a lot of agents that just got out of just at the beginning of the year. They didn't renew their license. They're in inactive status. Or like example with us, we have over 530 agents with our office, but we have about 100 of our agents in our holding company just keeping their license in an active status for a referral basis and coming back more active later this year. So a lot of companies have active agents in referral status, but that don't show up on the MLS. So it balances. There's many more agents, active agents in the area than 13,000, just not in the MLS. So just to balance that. So again, back to these numbers. This is about what it is all of the time. So about 30% of agents. The next 20% sell one or two houses a year, or they over the last 12 months. Again, some of them could be brand new agents within the last year and had one sale, some, that. So 50% of active agents, I would say 40 in a good market to 50% in a slower market that we're in, have one or two sales and no sales. This is about the average. What it is, it's just a little bit higher now because the amount of sales. So this is not new. It just gets your attention. And then in that there, we have the next 20% go from, or let's say 20% or 30%, I'm sorry, go from 3 transactions to 10 transactions. So what is that? 80% of the realtors, the 30% doing somewhere between 3 and 10, and then 1 and 2 is another 20%, and then 30% nothing. This is about normal. Most agents average, if you take the average, sell about 7 houses a year. That's if you go from 0 to all the very busy agents. And then the top 20% in here, you've got the 10 to 20, or let's say 10, 11 to 30 sales. That's about 20% in the market. And then the top five, if you're selling over 30 houses a year, you're in the top 5%, and then the top two are, and a lot of those are teams and team leaders, are up to that over 50. So if you are selling more than 10 houses a year, you're in the top 20%. You're there. You're already there. Top, we'll say 25%. You're there. So I always say this to every agent. This does not mean who's better agent. It's like saying a fancy restaurant that has three tables in a restaurant and only serve dinner and don't serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and are only open from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., 5 days a week instead of 7 days a week. They pick and choose. There are some great agents and successful agents that only sell a certain number of houses. And then I'm just saying this and no disrespect to our Ohio very successful agents in Ohio. There's agents in other markets that are selling multi-million-dollar houses. They're only selling 4 or 5 a year. And good for them. The income they earn is a lot more here. I have friends and they're brokers in other states, and they're like, "Wow, our average commission on each sale is somewhere between $16,000 and $18,000." Could you imagine? Any agent, no matter who's watching this, if you're in Ohio, imagine every one of your commission checks averages between 16 and 18,000. We don't get that luxury here. Our average sale price, we're about 5,000, 6,000, 4 to 7,000, somewhere in that range is our average. And because it's our average sale price in Ohio is that way. So the bottom line, the numbers are the numbers. The number of sales, it doesn't mean success. It doesn't mean realtors are failing at their jobs. We're selling things that there's limited inventory, so there's going to be lower amount of sales and a lower amount of agents having sales. So I say to every agent out there, brand new, been in the business, keep yourself in the game, keep your foot in the door. Things change, markets change. 1 year you're like, I'm going to do it. It's kind of like, bad example. I use this at least 2-3 times a day with agents. I'm like, have you ever owned a gym membership and didn't go, but you kept your membership because you're going to do it eventually. And right now you're just not in that thing. A lot of people go into the gym now, beginning of the year, New Year's resolutions. And then what happens? It goes down. Talk to any gym owner or search online. They thrive on all of those memberships of people that never come. Every agent out there that has been working this for a little bit of time and marketing themselves at least a little bit has future clients. They're there. They're just not buying and selling right now. So be patient, stay in the game. I know you hear some news sometimes, and I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit longer with this. Agents, I'll say, make this last statement that's going to upset many brokers and people out there. A lot of agents or some brokers or owners or successful agents that sell a lot of houses go, we need less agents in real estate. No, we don't. No, we don't. You know what that is? It's less advertising for us. We need everybody out there to know an agent. Imagine this, if there's less agents advertising, that's less that they see realtor, the less the public might think that they need us, when 95% of them pick an agent to sell or buy a house every year. I'll be conservative, 90%. Minimum 90% of people are always using an agent. You know why? Because they see realtor everywhere. Facebook, even people that they don't know, billboards, they see everything. Every agent to me is someone that is marketing realtors, right? And guess what? 85% of them will be out of the business every 5 years. Not to give you the bad statistic, 85% of realtors get out of the business every 5 years. So there you go. There's the statistic for the agents that always say, I wish there was less agents. They will be every 5 years, 85% turnover rate. So you as a successful agent still have the opportunity to get as much business as you want, because 85% of the agents that started 5 years ago are going to be out of the business. So their marketing, all they did, my opinion, is reminded all those people over the 5 years they were in the business that you need to know a realtor, you need to know a realtor, you need to know a realtor. And indirectly, agents are taking advantage of those agents that got out of the business. So if you're one of those agents that think you might be one of those 85% that gets out in 5 years, call me. Let me help you. Please. I've helped hundreds, thousands of agents in the last 28 years, and I would be happy to help you and give you some advice. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, a great weekend. I hope to talk to many of you very soon. Bye bye.